So that's why you can see that this is much easier than taking a scoop of icing and trying to smooth it on there, right? This gives, and then the quick icer itself is a little bit textured. You saw how it has like a texture on one side. It gives a little bit more surface area on the side that's adhering to the cake, whereas this side is very flat, so it would have a tendency to just sort of roll off. Okay, so see how it's sort of serrated on the bottom? So rather than just being a smoother edge that you put up against the cake, it's that bumpiness will have a tendency to sort of adhere. So for this one, I'm not going to go straight like this. I'm just going to do the whole top edge. That will probably be sufficient by the time this is cheating when it comes to the world. So you need to sit back a little farther. When it comes to the world of like professional cake decorating, putting your spatula in extraordinarily hot water is cheating, but it does help you. This is really too big for this. Well,
what's that called?
It's just, this is just a cake spatula. This is much too big for this cake that we're making, but it just happens to be the one that I brought. I'm not exactly sure what happened to my smaller ones. I think they're in the kitchen and didn't make it back. I use these for like a 20-inch round wedding cake where I need a bigger reach, but it'll be fine. I can just choke up on the head. It is not a wedding cake, but yes, you saw the pans. So, so we're going to we dip it in the hot water, and the reason we do that is it gives you a smoother edge. Why is it cheating? It's sort of like professional pride. Like if you're really good, you don't need hot water kind of thing. But whatever, I don't care. As long as I get results. I'm not a professional cake decorator anymore. So you use your quick icer to get yourself started. And as you can see, I'm going to need you. There will be areas on your cake where you're going to need a little bit more frosting, and you can see why you will have more stability in a cake that is totally frozen, but this is totally fine. So your quick icer gets you started.
Barbara, you were saying one time about putting fresh flowers on a cake if you're new, and then you kind of hide all those.
Oh yeah, if you're making a cake and you want it to look really, really good, and not that you can't use fresh flowers on a professionally done cake. The wedding cake that I'll be making is going to be done in Gerber daisies. But
what kind of flowers?
Gerber daisies.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this one's moving just a touch. I won't have you guys do this. Sit, please. It's a very tall cake with a lot of filling, so it's going to have a tendency to be a little bit unstable, and that's all right.
So where would you put the flowers, the fresh flowers?
Anywhere you wanted. You could cover the whole thing with fresh flowers if you wanted to. You can tuck them right in, as long as you don't, of course don't use oleanders or something, that you're going to poison your guests with. But as far as like roses or Gerber daisies or anything like that, you do it anywhere you want. I think I'm going to stop messing with it so that it doesn't fall over, because it's rather full. I feel like we're lifting a little bit to one side. I don't know why. Don't right now. No, you're not.
Looks like an oar.
Tessa and Brenna, if you want to watch, come sit here. There's a chair for you.
That's going to have to be good enough for our purposes. Adel has a special consideration that she has a special challenge that I don't have, in that the challenge of making kosher icing makes your icings very challenging to work with. I don't have that challenge that I have to deal with. So, all right. So
We're going to get it one day, Barbara.
What was that?
We're going to get it one day.
Yeah, it's going to be nice.
Barbara did this for me like at least 5 times so far. She made one birthday cake for me without my... What kind of tip is that, Barbara?
This is that same border tip, and I'm just doing
The first one where you made the shell
one
with?
where I used the same one that I used to make the little bead with, and this
Okay.
is what you call a alternating shell. So a shell, a traditional shell, is just like that. Sort of looks like a shell. A reverse shell is this. So alternating is that.
Are
Okay.
you making like little 8s?
Kind of, or kind of like when we made the rosebuds, similar to that. We're going to do the same on the top, and then we're going to get this thing into some refrigeration before we have major structural issues. Okay. So that's Hajiwaja.
What does it say?
What?
What does that say?
It says Wilton on the bottom. Okay, so I think we're gonna practice and then put it all in there and then scoop it back in as I'm using it so that there's consistency within, because you make multiple batches, they're not all gonna be exactly the same. And so I'll put it all together in a big bowl because I don't have a big Hobart. And when I worked as a cake decorator, I would make a barrel of icing at a time. You know, our mixing bowl was about that big around. It was about that tall. It took two of us to lift it. And I would use, you know, we used butter, clearly not in little sticks, but in, you know, giant tubs kind of thing. If I'm making a lot of roses, then I will, okay? And then look down into the bottom of the cone, and you want no light to come through, right? You don't want a hole. So just, thank you. Can you not do that right now? That would be great. So when you have a cone, it looks kind of like, let me see. So pull your pieces up tighter is all you have to do. Pull them up. Just work with it. And they're almost like a backwards stencil. So like a stamp almost. And it says like, it might say congratulations, it might say happy birthday or whatever it is. Or what you can do, what Egil and I did is that like for us, we needed Hebrew letters, so I have a set.
That was really neat.
That's for making cookies. And so I just took it like this and made an imprint right in the frosting of the letter that I needed. Pulled it off, so it made lines for me because I can't write in Hebrew. I can barely write in Hebrew. So then so we filled this cone that we've made, this little parchment cone, and I'll show you how to make that. And you're going to cut smaller than you think you want it to be. You can always cut it bigger. You just can't make it smaller. It's frustrating when your letters come out much bigger than you want them to be. So just make a very small little cut in it, and then test that out and see if that's kind of the size. Yeah, that's a pretty good size. That's very small. Is that a good size for you? Okay, so a quick tip for those of you who are, like you're at home, you're like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a cake for my family, and it's going to be great. So one of the things that you can do if you haven't mastered roses or flowers or anything else is to fill a whole bunch of these and take your cake and just make streamers. Right? You see those at the store, right? You see just the lines of different colored icing. Get some sprinkle it around the edge, write happy birthday on it, and you're good to go. And all you have to know is what to do with one of these. So she's practicing making that, and you're going to practice writing. And you can fill more of these parchment things.
Because you're on show.
So it's just a matter of...
You can do a little more back and forth.
I can't do that.
I don't want to use up too much of your icing, so I'm not squeezing very tight. So you work with it, you can print, or you can write in cursive, or however, whatever you want to do. Make a heart, make a whatever, just practice with it. If you feel like that if you feel like that hole in that is too small, then just cut it just a little bit bigger. All right, so now we were going to make, so now we need to color this icing. So those of you who have a cup full of icing, go ahead and color it. We're going to go up and down, up and down, up and down.
That's so pretty.
Already messed it up. That's okay. Not used to going quite so slowly. Okay, and then to make the base of it, turn it over. And spin. Okay, and then when you want to pick it up, who has the leaves? Somebody's got the leaves over there. So you pick it up with, I'm just going to show you one. I'm just going to do one, because the rest of them we're going to save, maybe on a tray if we get some that are good. Here, I'll put it on the top of this. So you pick it up with a pair of scissors.
You want some wax paper? Or?
Slide it off, and then add yourself some, I'm sort of falling, but anyway, you get the idea. You're going to add yourself some leaves around it. It looks better when it's on a cake, because this edge is kind of funky. All right, so now it's your turn. Okay. So remember, you don't want all the icing
Sorry,
to come
I'm gonna-
squeezing out the back of like a toothpaste container. So you want to squeeze it around and then hold it right back behind that ridge. So first, just practice spinning this in your hand. Just spin that, get it good for that. Okay? And you want the base of this to be perpendicular. So first you're going to make kind of that cone in the middle. Don't worry if you mess it up, we're just going to drop the icing right back in the cup. So you're going to make a tight circle. You want it, no, that's okay, so take it off and start again. Just drop it in here. Alright, just keep practicing. I'm going to get another rose nail. I'm going to get another rose nail so you guys can practice.
Can you get all this stuff like in your store or?
Such as the ingredients?
She makes
Or
well,
the-
like more like the tips and the
It's more like Michael's. And,
That one was really close. Now the cup is crushed.
All comes out.
Like the toothpaste.
Yeah,
So I want to hold it.
I'll do it. Oh, you're left-handed. You were going to make this challenging for me.
Because
Because I made a right-handed rose.
Oh, that's right.
So
So
we're
I'm
gonna have to go,
twirling.
so we're gonna go up and around, squeeze a little more, and turn, and squeeze a little more, and turn, and squeeze a little more.
Oh,
and
nothing
turn.
to it, ladies.
Are you gonna run home tomorrow and do the sand? I'm glad to see
Squeeze a little
you.
more, squeeze a little harder, squeeze a little harder, squeeze a little harder. There you go.
Nothing to it. Easy,
It's
easy.
one of these, this one's yours, right?
Yes, oh, absolutely.
Oh, I saw her, she was over at my hospital.
Thank you. I've actually taken classes in this and flunked them, so.
Well, here's the trick though. If the cake tastes good in the end, you can't fail, because it's all really, it's supposed to taste good in the end.
Thank you very much.
Very well
It's
done. Do you
just
want to
lovely.
try it, Haley? Oh, come on, give it a try. Okay, so
Great.
Joe,
Yeah,
move in it a little bit.
Nothing to do with baking. You cook.
Back and forth, yeah, okay. So take this here in your hand.
or maybe if I
I'm gonna make
catch,
the base for you first, okay? What's that?
maybe if I catch it on video, I'll keep
Oh,
running.
okay.
Just make the base for you first, because the base is the hardest part.
Okay, so take, you're okay, you're not, so just try spinning that back, just get the feel of it, okay? So you're gonna do that, and as you, here, go ahead and take this. And hold it a little bit higher, there you go. Turn it just a little that way. So you're gonna, no, there you go. Turn this a little more this way. Okay, now go ahead and squeeze it, and as you squeeze it, spin the nail a little. Now bring it down. Good. You squeeze it a little, no, come back to a little, you want to overlap it, come back to there. Now squeeze it a little harder than you did last time and spin it. Spin, spin, spin. There you go. Good. And again, let go, let go. Come back again, a little bit behind. They all overlap. Squeeze and turn. Turn, 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 turn. Good. Squeeze,